Gemini's AI Canvas tool is pretty wild. It's you and Gemini working together on a document, bouncing ideas around and iterating on the thing until it's done. I actually use Canvas to Vibe-code a TradingView chart indicator which accurately predicts Bitcoin cycle highs and lows. By the time you watch this, it'll be available on TradingView, so just search for Bitcoin cycle highs and lows and you'll find it there. In this deep dive, you'll learn two main things. First, how to vibe code a chart indicator for TradingView using Gemini's AI Canvas tool. And second, the exact date of both the next Bitcoin cycle low and the next Bitcoin cycle high, and the exact price of both of those. By exact, I mean approximate, but pretty close. Also, that might be more than two main things, but this is a Mafftopia deep dive, so stick around for the whole thing and you'll learn a lot on the way. So let's actually dive in.
Mafftopia deep dive, fascinating science news.
This indicator uses different methods to predict Bitcoin cycle highs and lows, when and how much. Not saying it can predict them well, but it does seem pretty close. I'll walk you through what it does in this video and how you can try it out too. There were plenty of predictions for this last all-time high, many of which got it completely wrong. The actual cycle high was about $126,000 US dollars on 6th of October 2025. There were calls for 200k, $500,000, $1 million, and for the bull market to continue into this year. Extended cycle, in other words. But let's back up a bit. Bitcoin follows a roughly 4-year cycle of highs and lows. It hits an all-time high, everyone calls for the price to keep on going to the moon, and then it crashes. Then we have a multi-year bear market, and people start calling for the price to go to zero. And then 4 years after the last all-time high, Bitcoin hits a new all-time high, and so on. This 4-year cycle does kind of correlate with the broader economic cycle, sort of government bonds and that kind of thing, but it's also strongly driven by the laws of supply and demand due to the way that its cryptographic algorithm works. So roughly every 4 years, a halving happens, which causes the supply issuance to drop, and the price, of course, reacts. But the thing is, the date of the next bull cycle high and the actual amount, definitely not set in stone. It's always kind of like the $1 million question, give or take. So back to the Gemini AI Canvas and this vibe-coded indicator. Just before we get there, don't forget to like and subscribe, and please do leave a comment. If you head over to mafftopia.com, you can find here just various links and things and a bunch of text if you fancy reading that. So if I can find it, let's bring up TradingView. And this is the indicator. This is the Bitcoin weekly chart. So each of these candles on here represents 1 week. If I scrunch this a little bit, I'll just go back in time. Actually, if I do this, there. Now if we go back in time, you can kind of see, going back to essentially the beginning of time, 2010, the first Bitcoin 4-year cycle was kind of back here. Unscrunch that now so you can see what's going on. And on this one, the all-time high was on the 8th of June 2011 for a grand total of $32 US. My God, if I bought Bitcoin back then. I should have. I really should have, but didn't. After that, there was a bear market for 163 days. 18th of November 2011, and the price dropped all the way down to $2. It's going to zero, no. And then after that, there was a bull market, which kind of began, if we count it as beginning from that low, and it worked its way up to the through the next cycle to the next all-time high, really the next cycle high. 743 days later, it was a gain from the low of 62,000%. It's not a bad return if you bought a few Bitcoins back then. And so on. These values here are actually hardwired into the indicator, which I'll show in a second. And or I'll show the code for it in a second. So you can kind of see the pattern. You get a high, the price drops down. Or basically, you get a cycle peak, then the price drops down to the cycle low or the cycle trough, and on and on. Then you got the crash. So at this point, everyone is euphoric, calling for the price of Bitcoin to just head up to 100k and beyond. Nah, crazy talk, man, crazy talk. Yeah, sure enough, it was crazy talk. The price crashed. So 376 days after that high, on it went, hit a low. The last cycle high, which was also the all-time high at the price so far, 6th of October 2025, about $126,000. That took 1,050 days from that low to get back up there. You kind of notice a bit of a pattern with these. The lengths of each bear cycle and each bull cycle are kind of similar across each 4-year cycle. 360-ish day bear cycle. Similarly, there is kind of a pattern to, well, maybe there's a pattern to be found in the cycle high and the cycle low. So it really is kind of like $1 million question of just for the next cycle high, the next cycle low, exactly when are they going to be and exactly what is the price going to be. Here's a quick peek at the code. candle of interest, basically, this cycle point. So the cycle point is like this particular bar or candle just here, which, whether it's a high, here is another one for the low, the cycle low. And just here, these ones are all hardwired in because they're historical. We've got that data, so let's damn well use it. Lots of code, not really coded by me, coded by Gemini, and that's the amazing thing. This is done in a very short space of time, really, because probably kind of a burning question is this accurate? Does it work? We may not know for another 4 years, of course, but there is a way of backtesting this as well. What we've got here is a prediction. Ooh. So this is saying that it thinks that the next low will be on the 18th of October of this year, 2026, and the low price might be 39,120-ish US dollars. It'll be down 69%. That would be apt, wouldn't it, given how the price has played out before? That's not Elon Musk smirking at the price. That's actually mathematics. The next prediction then, this one, so it reckons that the next cycle high, there'll be plenty of all-time highs along the way, but the top all-time high of that bull cycle will be 9th of September 2029. Hibernate until then. Accumulate Bitcoin, maybe. Not financial advice. That could be a top of $151,000, which is not very exciting, to be honest, given that various gurus and people were kind of calling for this one to be hitting $200,000 and above. That didn't happen. But then again, this isn't hype. This isn't hyperbole. This is algorithms just going by the previous trends. I mentioned settings. Let's have a quick look at those. With this, you can actually set the number of predictions. If you want there to be like no predictions, it's a handy thing that kind of tells you what the previous cycle highs and lows have been and where they were. If you just want it to predict one cycle point into the future, you can do that. Predicts to there. If you want it to predict two, ooh, that's another one. The prediction method it's using is obviously based on diminishing returns, because on this you can kind of see that the returns sure have diminished. So from the previous actual all-time high, 126,000, we then got it to a hypothetical next high of 151, hypothetical next high after that of 157. Is that it? Yeah, I don't like this indicator anymore, so I have to do something about that. We can actually change the prediction method in here now as well. So for the date predictor, previous bar count or average or weighted average, the tooltip tells us. The price predictor, the first two are kind of naive. If we go previous, then you can see Bush. This is a Cathy Woods style of prediction here now. It's predicting that the next all-time high will be $1 million. In 2029. The scary thing is that a YouTuber going through the reason for that prediction, it would seem really plausible. $1 million Bitcoin in 2029. I would bloody love it if there was. Let's got to say that. I would bloody love it, but it's not going to happen, probably. That was the average. If you go to something a bit more sensible now, like this, diminishing gains, still a little bit off the chart. Maybe not quite so much. Oh, it's worse. Okay. Oh, no, it's better, yeah. Not quite so bad. This one now is a bit kind of what we were looking at before. But 157 for 2029. Then the one following that, 2033, 169,000. Then if we go to the last one, Fibonacci extension decay. Fibonacci extension decay measures the magnitude of a phase, as in like that's a phase. There, bull or bear phase or whatever. The magnitude of a phase relative to the preceding phase. Do I show that? I don't know. This isn't really like a trading video. It's meant to be mafftopia. Fascinating science and technology. So I'm getting into the weeds a little bit on this. That's a fib retracement, like that. And you get all the like Fibonacci numbers down there. And then it projects the next target based on the historical decay of that particular fib ratio. That's the maths behind it. But is it accurate? More to the point, is it kind of plausible, I suppose? 156 just for 29 seems a bit low, but then again, as I was saying, this is just kind of the algorithm, the maths, the stats telling us that it's likely to be that we're going to get diminishing returns, because we've seen diminishing returns so far throughout all of this various cycles. Each one the return has been significantly less percentage-wise than the previous. Into there again. If we, because the first cycle, the 2011 cycle, was a bit kind of crazy. Bitcoin hadn't quite established its economics, its cryptonomics just yet. So we can actually just kind of chuck out the 2011 cycle altogether. So now ignoring that first one, we get 151 instead. What's also very relevant at the moment is when the current bear market low is going to be in. This is currently predicting that to be 18th of October, which would be 377 days after previous all-time high, and it would be 39,120 121 USD. That's actually very, very close to what we've been predicting on the Save with Crypto trading, Bitcoin trading live streams that we do each day over on the Save with Crypto channel. Funny that, isn't it? Yeah, it's just coming out virtually the same. What we can also do, just as a bit of a sanity check, is backtest. This removes the number of most recent actual cycle points, allowing you to compare the prediction with what really happened. Let's add in one backtested cycle point. So it's going to remove the hard data, the historical data for that one, and instead predict it. That's rubbish. So it predicted that this high would happen in, 19th of October. That's close. That's really close. But it also predicted the high would be $95,000, basically $96,000 instead of 126, which is what it really was. What do we change here to try and get it? Because if we can get that to match up, then that gives us a lot more confidence then in the next prediction. Maybe the 2011 cycle is important after all. Let's take that out. That's probably about as close as we're going to get it. So that's with as much data as we can possibly give it, apart from the latest high. The predicted high for this then was 116. It's only 10k out, which is, I think, is pretty astonishingly good, to be honest. So, and then from that, this setup then probably gives us the confidence that we want for switching off the backtesting, and likely then that we would see that 39k cycle low, and then with the diminishing returns, the next all-time high be that 156 in 2029, followed by, and this is now getting into the realm of who knows. Who the hell knows? It might drop to 67k after that, and then 2023 up to 165. But we'll see. To be honest, if we're still using this indicator by that stage, rather than just some thing where you inject data directly into your brain and it's all invented and it just becomes reality. I think by 2029, 2030 onwards, we'll have that sort of thing, I'm sure. So that is the chart. What I haven't done yet is publish this. I think we come back to this. So I did, for all of that, I didn't actually show the Vibe-code thing, because one thing I noticed, there was a small bug. So you notice with this, if I bring down the predictions to 0, it disables all of these different things here, but it doesn't disable this one for the back test, but also it should then not be used, probably more importantly, when that's on 0, because you've got predictions set to 0, but that still disappears if I set that. It's a bug. Easily fixed though, I hope. Let's open up the source code for this, grab all of that, bring it over to here, going to paste it in. I basically asked Gemini to create a new canvas, calling it Bitcoin Cycle Highs and Lows, which is the name of the indicator, in which we'll continue to iterate on a PineScript 6 program for a TradingView indicator of an existing script, which I'll paste into the canvas once it's created. This is the whole thing. For this, I could probably just add that fix, to be honest. The first one. I know I'm supposed to be vibe-coding this. Vibe-coding. So Gen Z or Gen Z. The thing here is, where did it go? Maybe I just need to get Gemini to do it. I suck. So it's basically this setting here that we want, that active equals numPredict. So it's active, and there's a boolean. Grab that. We literally just want to add it into this backtest count. So this ain't great. This isn't the best example of when you're vibe coding or whatever, having to copy and paste between this in here and that over there. And the reason is we're having to do that rather than just Gemini CLI or Claude Code, whatever you're using, where it tends to have its hooks into your code editor and it's editing directly into there. This is a bit different because with TradingView and PineScript, they don't let you kind of edit directly in a code editor outside of their desktop app or website. There is a way to do it, but it looked so kind of like fiddly and a little bit fragile. I just thought I'll just copy and paste for this. It's fine. So anyway, I've put that in, just save and give that a quick test. So now it was this thing. If we go back test, and now let's bring that down to 0. That now disables. Yay! But it's trapped. I've put a back test 2 cycle points in there. I can't fix it. I can't change it. I'd have to go back here and change that back around. So obviously there's an additional fix that needs to go in there. So let's put in here. I could do it with the microphone. I'm just going to type it. I don't want to mess up my recording on this. There's a small bug where if num predictions 0, how much of this do I need to explain to Gemini? Let's put that up to pro level. Let's use up my usage quota for the day. Burn through it. There we go. So I've updated the script to ensure the backtest count is only applied when predictions are active. Here's the code diff with the fix, where, I guess put over there, that's the whole thing. I've added the num predictions greater than 0 check right alongside the backtest count logic. This ensures that blah, 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 blah. I'm just going to grab that, copy paste. I've got enough confidence in it. I'm not even going to inspect the code. I'm just going to dive in there and replace it. Save it, reload. Now if we go back into this and raise that high. So now we're back testing. Whoa. But now bring the predictions down to 0. Fixed. So it now ignores that number, whether it's disabled or enabled. So purely based on how many predictions got going on there. So yay. Let's put that up to a couple though. That's what we want to be seeing. The final thing for this then is to actually publish the script. This is actually going to be not so much an unboxing video, because there are way too many of those on YouTube already. Yeah, I've bought a new kettle. I'm going to film the unboxing and then put it up onto YouTube and get it probably 250,000 views or something. I hate those things. Instead, we're going to do it in boxing, where we actually box this thing up and publish it. Let's bring back the code. Over on here, we've got publish script. It's very helpfully, TradingView is very helpfully put in the name. We need to put something in there. So for this bit, I'm going to bring in this. I had a little bit of a chit chat in a separate Gemini Canvas as well. It basically just created all of this. The initial version it created, or that it created rather, was all markdown with weird formatting and stuff. But within TradingView, they require BBCode, which is like these sorts of tags for the square brackets. For some reason, they do that differently from the entire rest of the world, which uses markdown. But that's fine. Interesting aside, I also had a conversation here, a chat, an AI chat with the chatbot about this thing, because initially I asked it to do that, create a blank canvas, raw text, strictly no markdown for editing BBCode markup as raw text. But it initially created a thing which had like formatting drop down like in Microsoft Word. So I questioned it, why does a canvas editor have a toolbar at the top for editing text styles? It's probably getting a bit entitled there, just whine. This is meant to be for raw text, for coding. The toolbar is a default feature of the Canvas interface for text-based files. Since you are using this blah, 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 just ignore the formatting buttons. But that's not free. Because as a test, I created a blank canvas for editing Python code that doesn't have the text formatting toolbar. Oh, you're seeing toolbar, blah, blah, blah. So in a very, very roundabout way, it's saying, sorry, I got that wrong. And then it kind of sorted it out. Then I asked it to fix a thing, because some of these bullet lists had initially been created all on the same line. Within TradingView, that would definitely mess up. So it fixed that, which is good. Now we're good to go. To be honest, I haven't even read this through. I'm just kind of trusting it that it's said good things and that they're sensible and make sense. I'm just going to grab that, plonk it in. I should probably put something at the top though, just saying this was created during a vibe coding session, cringe, with Google Gemini. I'm going to claim, I created, it was my idea. I created this indicator, because I'm going to make it open source as well, so you can just dig in and play around with the code if you want to check out the YouTube video on this at the Mafftopia channel. Okay, should do it. Make that italics, just feel like I should. Can't be bothered. Good. Lots of things. Make sure that's okay. Go continue. Category. Well, I suppose it's cycles, isn't it? It's definitely cycles. Is it a Bill Williams indicator? Candlestick analysis, kind of. It's cycles. It's cycle visibility. Your source code will be visible. Oh, sir, your source code is showing Bitcoin. Is it allowing it? Bitcoin idea. It's Bitcoin. Pump. Bitcoin. Which one do I choose? I don't know. Bitcoin price. Market cycles. Is it market cycle or market cycles? Don't you just hate that? There's probably a bit both then. Get rich quick? I don't know. That'll probably do. Allow you to put Mafftopia in there. No. Not that then. I promise to do my best to hopefully abide by the house rules. I think that's what it said. That's right. That's how I read it. And let's publish. Let's do this. It goes live. Oh my God, it's live. Okay. So good thing with this, I can now put this link into the video description and so on. If you liked that, please do like the video, subscribe, and probably do a follow-up video on this, I'm sure, talking about, two parts of it, the sort of vibe coding part of it, and also starting to use more AI-related stuff around TradingView indicators, particularly about using, for example, Quadzilla, which is our in-house premium indicator at Save with Crypto, the signals from Quadzilla to actually kind of generate trades and so on via AI, combining smart with smart, hopefully getting very smart from that. That's about it. So thank you so much for watching, for sticking it out this far. So, that doesn't sound very wholesome, but thanks all the same, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.